What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph. You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Silverchair. Yes, indeed, Silverchair Fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Michael Clark, and Michael wanted to see me react to this song by Silverchair called No Association. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, oh, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by 43 Kauta. Sure, why not? And the video has 69,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Silverchair, No Association, live on Recovery. I guess Recovery is the name of a program, name of a show, maybe the name of a channel, possible. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
It's good. the chordal progression when they do the do 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 do, it's an interesting chordal progression. I mean, it makes sense. It all fits within the key signature. It sounds good. It's just it's an interesting chordal progression. That ascending and yet descending line. Do 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 do. You know that. You know, every third it goes up and it goes down. You know, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. It's interesting. It's ascending and descending at the same time. It's fun. It's definitely fun. The drumming is nice. I'm digging the drumming on this. Some really nice placement of pattern. You know. And okay, more than placement of pattern, placement of accents, I think is really more than anything else. The snare work, in particular, the placement, it's not repetitive. It fits. There's definitely that pattern. There is a pattern that he's following, but it's not your typical snare on 2 and 4. You know what I mean? Or they're in a halftime feel, snare on 3. You know, there's some definite play with rhythmic play there. I like it. I definitely like it. Bass playing solid. Got no issue with what's happening in the bass. Guitar playing solid. Got no issue with anything happening there. Playing in a live setting. Taking that into account, obviously. This is going to sound really weird. I think the strongest thing about this song is not so much what they're playing, it's what they're not playing. Creating that open space in the guitar and bass where it's just literally they lay out, vocals lay out, or not even vocals, I'm sorry, vocals are going, but guitar and bass lays out, and it's just drums and vocals. And then when the guitar and bass come back in, it fills out again, and then it empties out again. It creates that vacuum, it creates that space. They're doing it strategically. And I gotta say, I think that might be the strongest thing about this song is not what they're playing, it's what they're not playing. To create that vacuum, to create that sense of unease, to create that sense of anticipation. When are they gonna come back in? You know what I mean? I think it's smart. I think it's actually pretty smart on their part. Gotta tip the cap to them on that. Anyway, let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. We are cranked, right? Yeah, it's 100%. Jokes. I can't tell if the guitar died or if the guitar, he just stopped playing it right there abruptly. I can't tell. Maybe, I don't know, maybe his amp got unplugged, or maybe it's shorted, or maybe the plug came out. Or then again, maybe he just intentionally stopped right there abruptly. It just sounded very sudden. Interesting. He didn't, okay, if something malfunctioned, he didn't show it. He kept right on going. It's a sign of a professional, for sure. If you make a mistake or something malfunctions, you just keep on going like that was the plan all along. So, yeah, I don't know if it was a mistake or not. I couldn't tell. So, not a lot to talk about. I already talked about everything I wanted to discuss on the break. So, this is going to be a short review. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Silverchair with a live performance of No Association. This was a request from Michael Clark. Okay, before I give my score, I'm gonna say this, and I hope people understand. I really do. I don't have to love a song to give it a high score. At the same time, I don't have to hate a song to give it a lower score. I base my scoring completely on objectivity, okay? I enjoyed this to an extent. There was definitely something about this that I did enjoy. And I have a feeling I know exactly what it is, and we'll talk about it. But the score does not necessarily reflect how I personally feel. I definitely feel I enjoyed, on a personal level, I enjoyed this song a little more than the score shows, okay? So, I don't want people thinking that I hated this. I don't want people thinking that, it was I think it was a terrible job. I don't want people thinking that, because number one, we're not in the negatives, okay? We're above a 5. We don't get into the negative scores until we get under 5, okay? So try to keep that in mind and keep everything in perspective. Having said that, let's get to the score and embrace myself for the hate, I guess. I get a lot of hate from the fans of Silverchair for some reason. I really do. And it all has to do with their age, which I think is ridiculous. Age smage. I don't care how old that they are. It does not matter. I'm going to hold them to the same standards that I hold any other professional band out there. They are professionals, so I'm going to hold them to the same standards. And to do anything less, in my opinion, is doing them a disservice. So I say the same thing about The Warning. I say the same thing about Baby Metal. I do not care how old the performers are. I just do not care. It does not matter. What matters is the product, what's out there. And as such, I'm basing my score to that same criteria.
And that, my friends, is called integrity.
So, having said all that, let's get to the score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 6.7. Yep, 6.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 6.7. What does that mean? Well, it's not as bad as you might think. A 6.7 would translate to a pretty good skill rating. So overall, I think this was a pretty good job. It would also get 3 out of 5 stars and a B letter grade. Yeah, let that one sink in. B as in boy, not a C, not a D, a B letter grade. So there you go, a 6.7, pretty good skill rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Is the song particularly impressively written? No. I think it's solidly written, absolutely. I think it's sort of creative with the line that they came up with, coming down every three, while ascending at the same time. I thought that was pretty creative. It's not the first time I've heard bands do that. We've heard other bands do that. Merciful Fate's done it. Black Sabbath has done it. Rush has done it. Genesis has done it. There's a lot of bands that have done riffs like that where they are ascending, but at the same time, every time they ascend, they come down, but then they ascend and come down, ascend and come down, ascend and come down. It's not the first time I've heard it, but they did it well. They absolutely did it well, and they made it sound good. So I'll give credit where credit's due. The drumming, if I'm being honest, I think from a musicality standpoint, from a musicianship standpoint, I think the drumming was honestly the most impressive part of the musicianship. Really playing around with some subdivision work and some snare placement work on the drum patterns that he came up with. And it was a pattern. It was a pattern. It's just not your typical snare on the 2 and 4 pattern, or if they're in halftime, snare on the 3 pattern. No, he was definitely playing around and having some fun with the pattern that he did come up with. And it, again, conducive to the song. It conducive to what was happening within the song. Bass playing, it was pretty much follow along with the guitar, if I'm being honest. A lot of what was played was unison line. When the guitar laid out, bass continued on the line that was created, but then as soon as the guitar came in, they picked up right where they left off, and like they had never left in the first place. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the bass playing was super impressive, because it wasn't, but it was solid. It was absolutely solid, and it followed along with what was happening within the guitar riff. So again, no issues. It sounded fine. No problems whatsoever. I'm just not going to sit there and pretend to be blown away by it. Vocally, I get it. I understand what he's doing. It fit the context of the song. Okay, I'm not criticizing it. I'm not saying he did a bad job. No, what he did fit the context of the song. It fit like a glove. It made perfect sense. But at the same time, again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm blown away by it, because honestly, there was really nothing all that impressive about it. You know, it fit. It sounded good. It was conducive. But that's about all I can say about it. You know, it works. It absolutely worked. This is going to be really strange to hear anybody say, but honestly, I think the strongest part about the song is not what they played, it's what they didn't play. Whenever the guitar would lay out and the bass would lay out, and it was just drums and vocals, there was that void, that was that vacuum that would be created, creating a sense of anticipation of when are they, because look, you know they're going to come back in. You know they are. We just don't know when. We don't know where, but they are going to come back in. And by doing that, it created that sense of anticipation, keeping the listener engaged, keeping the listener on the edge of their seat, and to some extent, creating a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling, a feeling of unease. You know, we don't know where it's going to come back in. And when it would come back in, it was never something. It was never, you know, a slow crescendo in. No, it was always, you know, like getting hit by a truck. Boom! Right there in your face. And jarring, unsettling, but in a pleasing way. Again, fitting the context and the direction of the song. So I get it. I see it. I'm just not going to sit here and go, oh, it's the most amazing song I've ever heard in my life. Come on. You can't be serious. No, it's not. There's far more impressive songs out there than this, but it's still not a bad song. And I know a lot of people are going to look at that score of 6.7. They're going to go, oh, he hated it.
That's not true!
No, I didn't hate it. Like I said, to some extent, I actually enjoyed this, especially those voids that were created, that vacuum that was created, that sense of unease that was created, that sense of anticipation that was created. I thought they did a brilliant job of that. I thought it was really smart. So that's how I'm coming up with the 6.7. And before people ask, what about the live show? Well, I hate to say it, folks, but the live show was a bit of a wash. It didn't help the score, but at the same time, it didn't hurt the score either. There was a lot of stage energy on there. The guitar player, the lead vocalist guitar player, he was moving around a lot. I like that. I can definitely appreciate that. It fit, again, what he was doing was staying within the context of the song, just out of control. But not completely. It was controlled out of control. It's also known as controlled chaos. So he did a fine job of that, you know, by visually demonstrating the feeling of the song. And some people can even interpret that as interpretational dance. To some extent, I kind of see it. I kind of agree with it, but it's not dance. It's a performance, yes, but it's not dance. The stage energy was there, yes. The stage presence was there, yes. The showmanship was there, yes. Absolutely. Stage interaction? No, there was none. Crowd interaction? No, there was none. So, you know, it's a wash. You know, you got the 3 little ones versus the 2 big ones, it depends on your point of view. But the big one was missed, but 3 of the other ones were hit. So it's a wipe, okay? So that's how I'm coming up with the 6.7. The live show didn't help, but it didn't hurt either. So there you go. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 6.7, which is a pretty good skill rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.